Statistics Korea, or KOSTAT, annually issues a report showing Koreans' view on the numerous aspects of our society, including family, education, health, and safety, etc. In this year's survey, 56.4% of respondents answered that it is socially acceptable for couples living together without getting married. For the first time, more than 50% of Koreans agreed to the idea of cohabitation. Koreans' view on cohabitation is split. The pro side says cohabitation is a good alternative to marriage. Currently, people have to choose only between married life and staying single. Those who feel the burden about married life avoid marriage altogether, which accounts for the dropping marriage rate and birth rate. The rationale for them is cohabitation, which allows you to live with the one you love without the burden of getting married, will naturally lead to marriage or childbirth. This viewpoint, they say, have proved true in France, where cohabitating couples are given the same rights as married couples, and then the birth rate increased. The opposing side thinks differently. Maintaining a good married life is difficult even if the couple is responsible and committed to each other. Can a couple starting with a lower level of responsibility maintain a long-lasting relationship? Also, think about the life of a child who are born to unwed couples. In the survey, among those in their 20s and 30s, more than 70% answered positively about cohabitation. This indicates that regardless of what the older generation thinks, as time goes on, cohabitation is likely to be established as a social norm. Is cohabitation an alternative to the current marriage system, or is it just an issue of younger generations' lack of responsibility? It is time to think more seriously about the topic. There is a lot of social pressure for people to get married in Korea. A lot of Koreans are not choosing this option. If it is socially acceptable to cohabitate, more couples will get married and have children as a result. So first we talk about there's a lot of social pressure for people to get married. Social pressure can be pressure from your family. That is, they're always kind of reminding you should get married, you should get married. We can also use social pressure, for example, smoking. 30 years ago, a lot more people smoked. But nowadays, people says, oh, you shouldn't smoke. It's bad for your health. Please stop smoking. It's the people around you telling you what to do or what you should do. And then I said, if it is socially acceptable to cohabitate. So this chapter today is about cohabitation. A habitat is a place where people live. Cohabitation means where two or more people live. So we talk about if there's a boyfriend and girlfriend, they're living together in the same apartment, they are cohabitating it. That means two or more people are living there. So that's kind of the topic of the day, is cohabitation. So is it socially acceptable to cohabitate? So socially acceptable, another thing that changes over the years. So nowadays, or 30 years ago, I would assume in Korea, it was not acceptable for an unmarried couple to live together. But now socially acceptable means more people believe that it should happen and that it's okay. Therefore, the society thinks it's okay, then it becomes socially acceptable. Korea's decreasing population and low birth rate is a huge problem. One way to solve this issue is to treat those who cohabitate as married couples. France initiated a common law marriage system where couples who live together are given the same rights as married couples. If Korea wants to raise the birth rate, they need to consider adopting a similar policy. So I talked about France initiated a common law marriage system. Common law marriage in America, it depends on what state you're in, but if you live together, boyfriend and girlfriend, for a certain amount of time, some places it's 9 months, some places a year, some places it's 18 months. You can claim common law marriage, meaning that you live together, you share finances, you pay rent together. So the law will treat you as a married couple. So it can work in your benefit, but also there is also common law divorce. It means if you were never really married, you have to get divorced and one party will have to pay the other in financial support. So we call it common law marriage. I mean, they're not officially marriage, but do live together for a long time. And then I finally said Korea would need to consider adopting a similar policy. So when we think about adopting, a lot of times we think about if a parent will adopt a child from an orphanage, but we can also adopt policies means we can accept them into our law or into our society. Cohabitating couples have the same rights as married couples in France. This increased the birth rate. If this were to happen in Korea, the birth rate would rise as well. Cohabitation does not guarantee a couple will get married. Without the full commitment of marriage, it would be easy for one person in the relationship to leave. The idea of not getting married and having a family may seem like a flimsy idea to some. The process of getting married adds an extra layer of intangible security that can hold a family together. So I said that having a family without marriage might seem like a flimsy idea. If something is flimsy, it can be easily broken. It's weak and not very strong. And I said the process of getting married adds an extra layer of intangible security that can hold a family together. So, if you're together and cohabitating, that's fine. But if you get married, it kind of an extra layer of intangible security. So if something's intangible, you can't see it. You can't really touch it. But the feeling of two families getting together, going through the process of marriage, may make the family unit stronger over time. It's a little bit harder to break up once you've been married. Alternatively, it's a lot easier to break up if you're not legally married. So that's what I said, an extra layer of intangible security. Couples that choose to live together without getting married may increase the number of single mothers. Currently, there is little to no support for single mothers in Korea, which could lead to a series of social problems. So we talked about single mothers. So we have, if you have a couple living together, they're unmarried, you might call them partners or common law marriage. But if the father leaves and you have a mother by herself raising a child, we call that a single mother. Alternatively, also, if the mother leaves and the father has to take care of the child, as we call a single father. If the number of couples who cohabitate increase, so will the amount of single mothers. Children of single mothers have less advantages and support than children of married couples. In the end, it is the children that will suffer. Thanks for downloading, guys. Bye-bye.